Hi, we are here in the Cloud and CyberSecurity Expo 2019 in Singapore at the Marina Bay Sands Convention Center. Now, with me here is Phil Scanlon, Vice President Sales Engineering of Asia Pacific and Japan for Solace. So, Phil, maybe you can start by telling me all about Solace and what you guys really do.
Yeah.
All right.
So Solace basically provide data movement technology. We've been doing that for about 10 years, predominantly in the enterprise space, but solving some of the world's most critical data movement issues. The technology that we've sort of created is the Solace PubSub Plus platform. The main technology of that is the event broker. So if you don't know what an event broker is, event brokers essentially decouple applications from each other. So if you've got, say, an IoT application that's sending information, and you've got hundreds of thousands of devices, they all need to connect in and move data. That's decoupled from the back end that's processing that data. So you can essentially have very high bursty traffic on the device side. The event broker takes care of storing that while it's in motion, and then providing a very, very fast feed of data through to say an IoT processing platform.
Fantastic. So what sort of event broker related challenges does the solution seek to solve for enterprises?
Yeah, so I mean, the event broker essentially is there to simplify movement of information. So you start with the event broker. Applications can connect using any API, any protocol. So in the IoT world, you're using standards like MQTT. Devices just need to simply send data. So you need to manage like hundreds of connections doing IoT. But on the other side, you've got different protocols. So inside your organization, you may be using REST, you may be using JMS, you may be using AMQP. These are all common sort of data movement protocols. You may be doing streaming. So the broker takes care of kind of transforming the protocols between those and allowing the same information, say, that's used in an IoT use case to be sent through to different environments. So one might be a track and trace application. Another consumer of that event may be an alerting, a fraud kind of use case. So the broker takes care of kind of what we call PubSub. So a publisher publishes messages, a subscriber kind of subscribes to messages. So Solace in the space, you have your event brokers, but as you sort of look at evolution, people are moving to a much more distributed kind of environments. This technology now needs to not just run in one central location, it needs to run in the cloud, it needs to run on-prem, it may run in an on-prem hybrid cloud environment. So when you connect many event brokers together, you get what's called an event mesh. So the event mesh allows events to flow to a much broader set of consumers. So the event broker and Solace aims to simplify that. So you can, if you get a subscriber in the cloud for a piece of information, that information will now start flowing through to the cloud environment without you requiring to write a whole load of code or logic to do that. So it allows people that are using event brokers and event mesh to simplify their application design, so to focus on the application, not on the plumbing.
Now, judging by the growing number of IoT devices, I'm sure the data you receive is massive as well, right?
Yeah.
So how, and looking at event brokers and event mesh, what are the security features behind this? Yeah. So I mean, security is very important. I'll cover the piece around sort of volume. So I mean, we have different offerings at different levels. So we have a standard edition that's free to use, can be deployed as an enterprise grade product with full HA, full reliability. 10,000 messages per second, which is sufficient for a lot of use cases. If we look at scaling that through, we have some customers who are doing literally billions of messages per day. So you have the same technology, the same APIs, the same interface to be able to use. So the kind of the scale thing is something we sell well. And in the cloud environment, you have some of that might be in the cloud. So we have also a cloud capability to manage that from free, no cost, all the way through to very high volumes. When it comes to security, obviously with things like IoT devices, you really want to make sure that, traditionally, or the first IoT projects were kind of like sensor data being sent one way. We've been doing kind of two-way IoT now for 5-6 years with some of our customers. We have a German car manufacturer who does their connected vehicle is built on top of the Solace platform. I see. All right.
So with the ability to kind of use an app on the phone to unlock the vehicle, They needed real-time responsiveness, so the latency has to be kind of sub-second.
Yeah, that's right.
They measure it in, if I click a clicker on a remote on a car, that's the performance I expect, so I need that through an IoT platform. And we're doing that for 20 million vehicles concurrently. So at that kind of scale, but you're still providing very, very predictable performance. So Solace has been deployed in those. But when you start thinking, okay, I've got a vehicle I want to unlock, you need to make sure that it's all end-to-end secure, everything's certificates. There's no ability to compromise. So there's many different layers that we adhere to and put in, and we're continuously working with our customers to enhance that. We work with the US airspace, the Canadian airspace. So a lot of the airline movements, when you use something like a FlightAware or a Google Tracker to see where a flight is, that data's come across the top of Solace. So from the core kind of critical aviation control systems, it then flows out to more public feeds. So being able to do things like one-way bridges, to provide secure connections, to provide DDoS kind of capabilities. These are the kind of the enterprise features that a platform like Solace provides.
Fantastic stuff. All right, my last question to you is, now, your services are already available on AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, right? Now, are there plans to launch it on other cloud platforms like Alibaba Cloud?
Yeah, sure. So we launched our cloud platform about 3 years ago. Initially, it was available on those platforms, and as our customers have kind of adopted it in new locations, we've moved into new availability zones. So it's continuous evolving as availability zones come up on AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. We move into them. So our infrastructure is set up to we've taken the view that you shouldn't have to worry about our technology running in your compute environment, so we make it very easy for us to expand into those environments. We have actually got customers already using Alibaba Cloud and Tencent Cloud, Huawei Cloud, just using our native broker, so you can obviously deploy our broker there. We manage it for them. And as demand grows, we start putting that capability into those cloud environments.
Just to add on to that, how's the demand been in Southeast Asia, if you don't mind sharing?
Southeast Asia for Solace is actually our second biggest office. So a lot of our IoT early stage, some of our digital transformations actually happened in Southeast Asia. It tends to be a little bit more experimental. So if you think about smart cities and how those go, we've been working with the Singapore government now for 5+ years. We did a lot of work around the bus information systems. We're currently part of the ERP2 project, so next generation road tolling, very, very smart vehicle, two-way communication with citizens on the road network. So Southeast Asia actually tends to be ahead of the rest of the world for us. Couple that with the volume of people in Southeast Asia. You've got billions of people in most of the major geographies, and when you start bringing digital technology into those markets, people start very quickly going from a trial project with thousands of devices up to potentially millions. So we've got some very, very large deployments across Asia in the IoT and in the web space.
Fantastic stuff. All right, that's all the time we have.
Right.
Thanks for joining us. All right.